Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's been pretty quiet around here for quite some time, apart from the music video that I uploaded. And the reason is I have been incredibly sick. So the world's obviously gone mad. We're in a pandemic and yeah, lots of people are catching the coronavirus. Now I actually caught it as well. I caught it a while ago, quite a long time ago. And I have a thing called post-viral fatigue is what it's called. And post-viral fatigue can last for months and months, so I'm still actually quite sick.
That's a fairly large multitasking. But that's kind of a lot.
I know, but we're full of energy. I'm full of energy.
That's a fairly large multitasking. But that's
Jesus, my head. Hey guys, how's it going? Since we're on lockdown, I thought it might be a good idea to give you guys a quick update. Yeah, so the coronavirus, pretty scary stuff, eh? Pretty scary stuff. So I myself, I'm actually sick, and this is like the worst time ever to get sick. As obviously we're all panicking a bit. So yeah, I've been quite sick for a few days. Shortness of breath, chest pains, pins and needles in my fingers and my lips as well. I feel weird and they get pins and needles and I get quite numb. Quite bizarre. I had the worst headache of my life for like a good few days solid. It's very, very, very weird. So hopefully I just have the flu. Although luckily I've only got like quite a tickly throat. I've only got like a mild cough. I don't have the corona cough, so that's always a good sign. I've had a cough come and go, but not like you see on the telly, so I'm not too stressed yet. I did speak to a nurse who said there is a good chance that it's like a mild version of the coronavirus. And if this is mild, oh my god, like those poor people that are suffering just now must be going through hell. I mean, it took me 9 hours to get the energy to get out of bed. I'm exhausted just sitting on this chair. It took me 9 hours to get the energy to get out of bed. 9 hours. And yeah, crazy. I mean, it's tiring talking, it's mental. I could only really stay on my feet for like a few seconds, then I'm all lightheaded and stuff. Luckily, I've got my mattress here on the floor in the living room, so I'm close to the kitchen, the skybox, and the bathroom as well. Thought that's quite a good idea, so I just left it here. Yeah, took it through on Friday when I had enough energy. There's no way I could move that through here now. Whew, pretty crazy stuff, eh? Hopefully once I'm feeling better I can start playing Xbox as well, so. But yeah, I don't have the energy to play Xbox just now, or the mental capacity to concentrate on it, because it's, yeah, it's very mad. So yeah, I was filming down in Glasgow, and a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I took the mega bus there and back, and on the way back, this Asian woman who looked really sick rubbed up against me as she rushed to the toilet. She was like covered in sweat and everything. And yeah, so I remember thinking, you know, just because she looks like she might be Chinese or something, doesn't mean she has the coronavirus. She's probably just in Glasgow out in the piss with her pals or something. She probably lives here, you know, she's probably born here. Probably hasn't been to China in years. But she looked really sick. So yeah, so I put it to the back of my mind. And then I was filming a music video. And then I started to get the worst headache ever over the period of that 2 days. I just thought it was because one of the cam operators, I was directing it, I just thought it was because one of the cam operators was a total pain in the balls, who was like complaining and whinging all the time because he wasn't getting his own way. So I thought headache because of that, but then when I tried to sleep at the lodge at the castle where I was staying, I noticed like a whistling noise coming out of my chest. So I've got my inhaler at the ready because I get seasonal asthma. Yeah, crazy stuff, eh? Anyway, I'm sure I'll survive. One of my mates was sick not long ago as well, so I'm hoping I just have the same thing as he did. And he's fine now, and he got sick like 5 days before me. So yeah, self-isolating, won't see anybody for ages, haven't been out of the house in a week. Yeah. So, I guess I'll just have to wait until I get better, then I'll start finding things to keep me sane with YouTube. I'm thinking like a series of photography tutorials. My head's thumping. So yeah, COVID-19, how's that been going then? Let's see. Okay, so I did notice about a week ago when I went to the shop, there was loads of camper vans coming from the cities and stuff out to the Cairngorms. There's people flooding up from England as well to escape to the Highlands and stuff, and it's mental. Like, the hospitals in the Highlands have 3 ventilators. 3. You need a ventilator if you're hospitalised with coronavirus. If you're coming up here, you're going to spread it here faster, and then there's not enough people in the hospitals that can deal with this. There's nowhere near enough ventilators, and yeah, more people will die, so that's pretty crazy. Like, stay where you are, you psychos. And on top of that, you know, the small shops and these little communities around these areas, around the Cairngorms and the Highlands and stuff, like, they're not prepared for all the extra shoppers and stuff. There's already people panic buying as it is. I mean, I went to Tesco like a week ago. Shelves were empty. Went to Morrison's, shelves were empty. Went to about 3 different shops because there was nothing there. And also could be why I'm sick. And yeah, all I could get was a couple of frozen pizzas and some dry noodles, and that was it. There was nothing in them apart from bloody condiments and booze. Mental. Panic buying is putting others at risk. It's the most greedy, crazy thing ever. So yeah, stay where you are. Don't come up here. We don't have enough hospital staff. We've got 3 freaking ventilators, for Christ's sake. Like, you know, they've set up tents in our broth for the dead bodies. You know, if you come up here, you could literally be in one of those tents. So don't do it. It's ridiculous and selfish and dangerous. And you're not going to escape the virus by coming here because loads of us are already sick. It's a really nasty bug, this one. So this is literally the most ill I have felt since the only time I've ever been close to being this ill was like 1999, when I was in bed with a fever and sickness, and that passed within 24 hours. This is like a really unusual feeling because, you know, you got all these different symptoms and stuff, but on top of that, got a weird painful feeling in my eyeballs and a really distracting, tingling feeling and like pins and needles in my lips and stuff, which is probably due to... Okay, so I was talking to one of my mates online a couple of days ago who said that Scolty Hill is absolutely mobbed with cars and stuff. It's the big hill where I live, and everybody's hiking on the hills and stuff. The beaches are mobbed as well. It's like social distancing. Social distancing doesn't mean go outside and be completely surrounded by other people, you absolute psychos. It means keep your distance from people, honestly. Like, if this is a mild case, whoa, Jesus, can't get my words out. Ugh. If this is a mild case of coronavirus and I feel like absolute garbage, I literally can't stand for more than a couple of seconds. It's not worth risking it because, oh my god, I feel so grim. So yeah, Dominic Cummings should be sacked. He basically wanted to go for his herd immunity approach and keep that going, which would have seen hundreds of thousands of people dead. It's insane. So basically he wanted the coronavirus to pass through the population, which would kill off the elderly, which in this town actually is the Tory voters, so that's ridiculous. And basically create a widespread herd immunity against the disease, which, as far as I've been reading, doesn't work because, like the flu, it mutates, so you can catch it more than once. So herd immunity is dumb because you can catch it later and then again, and then they'll still kill off your pensioners. It's mad. So you can't just isolate the pensioners and have everybody else get sick. It's ridiculous. I mean, obviously what the Tories were doing here was they were trying to protect the economy over anything else. It's just mad. I think it was on the 12th of March where Cummings realised he got things really badly wrong. Yeah, and that the strategy could lead to, well, 250,000 deaths by midsummer. So he realised he set a course for catastrophe and then U-turned on it, which it's insane. I mean, one country doing things an entirely different way from everybody else. If his idea was so genius then surely the other countries would be doing the same, you know? It's ridiculous. Oh my god, muscle pains. Oh, yeah. Okay, so one thing that restored my faith in humanity is I was quite worried about my neighbour because he's elderly and I can't check on him, but I saw on Facebook there's a company here called Eastside Classic Campers who rent out Volkswagens. I messaged them and asked them if they could check on my neighbour, and within 20 minutes they drove up in like an old classic van and checked up to make sure he was alright. So there is some guys, some good guys amongst all this. It's not all just dickheads that are stockpiling bog roll and all the soap and paracetamols and stuff. So faith in humanity restored. You are on the good guys list. So yeah, I saw on Twitter loads of nurses are thinking about writing their wills, so that's pretty scary. So yeah, Professor Hugh Pennington, who's based in Aberdeen, said the proposal of herd immunity is basically insane and would result in around 500,000 deaths in the UK. So that's more than 250,000, this guy claims. Yeah, the policy should never have been speculated about. There's all the evidence so far shows that the virus settles down long before herd immunity is reached. Got a text message from the government saying if they stay indoors. That's crazy as well. Oh my god, you didn't expect that, do you? Madness. Yeah, I'm not really feeling too great, so I'm trying to overheat. So I'm gonna go back to bed. Whew. I'll update you guys later once I'm feeling better. Will I die of coronavirus? Focus and ask again. Will I die of coronavirus? Very likely. Hooray. Okay, so I started making a video yesterday. It's now the next day. And yesterday, oh my god, I got sick. That was ridiculous. It's possibly, oh, Jesus, definitely the most sick I've been in over 20 years. It's, yeah, it was nuts. And my face started to feel all funny and stuff. I had pins and needles in my lips and my fingers. I was finding it difficult to breathe. And I had to go back to bed. And yeah, I had a fever straight after that. And shivers as well. My parents actually drove up with food for me and dropped it at the back door and then legged it. Thanks for that, much appreciated. And yeah, good chance I might have the coronavirus. Could be a regular flu, but yeah, the fact that half the country probably now has the coronavirus, according to the newspapers, I'm thinking it's probably corona. Okay, so yeah, I was trying to have a rant about the government, but I couldn't really concentrate on what I was doing. My breathing was a little funny. Just talking was exhausting and making my breathing feel weird and made me super tired. It was crazy. I'm not 100% yet, obviously, so I'm still gonna have to rest. So I was looking into the amount of deaths before there was lockdowns in other countries. So in Wuhan, where this originated, there was a lockdown after 23 deaths. Then over 2,000 died in total. In Italy, there was a lockdown after 52 deaths. And then 6,802 dead so far. And then here in the United Kingdom, there was a lockdown after 433 deaths because they dithered first with the idea of just letting us all get infected. Somebody needs to go to jail for that. That is ridiculous. 3 weeks wasted. So basically the government used junk size to defend their decision to sacrifice thousands of human lives on the altar of capitalism. It's ridiculous. And then slowly began to reverse it when they realised it would actually damage the economy more, what they were doing, than actually tackling the problem in the first place. It's crazy. I think it might be 2 days later now since I last hit record here. And yeah, this video should have taken me about 45 minutes to film and edit and then done, but it took days. Like, the more I'm out of bed, the more sick I get, and then I have to go straight back to bed, and then it lets me run down and out of the game for the rest of the day. So, it's been a nightmare to get finished. I can't stay out of bed for too long. Although the good news is, as of today, I'm no longer a snot-filled mess. So that's always a good sign, so that means I must be getting better. Thank God. that's been a hell of a week. It's been 7 days of really seriously bad symptoms and feeling awful, so that's pretty crazy. The week before, it was like, I just constantly felt like I had a cold coming on, and then, but I also had a migraine for like 2 days solid, and then just a week of hell. Here's one of the weird things. So since I've been sick, I've told loads of my friends and my family and stuff and all that, obviously, that I'm sick and not to come over and stuff and all that. We're all in quarantine anyway. But loads of them have all said to me, oh, it's probably just the cold, it's probably just the flu, and things like that. And the thing is, right, this is one of the main problems of how the coronavirus is spreading, because people are saying, well, what symptoms do you have? And I tell them, then they're like, well, that one's not a symptom of the coronavirus, this one's not a symptom of the coronavirus. The coronavirus it's a dry cough and your shortness of breath, you know? And the thing is, I checked with a friend of mine who's a nurse at the local hospital and said, hey, what is the symptoms of the coronavirus? And she informed me that the symptoms of the coronavirus are literally any symptom of any cold or flu. So yeah, basically, you know, diarrhea is a symptom, a runny nose or a blocked nose is a symptom. Anything that's linked to a cold or flu is a symptom. So by people convincing themselves that they only have a cold, they're going to be spreading it more. And by people trying to convince others that they only have a cold, that's going to spread it more too, which leads to more deaths. It's better to be safe than sorry. It's madness, seriously. Just because I haven't had a really wheezy corona cough, I have had a mild cough, but not as bad as you see on the TV. Just because I didn't have that doesn't mean it's not coronavirus. And just because you haven't had that doesn't mean it's not coronavirus. It just means it's affecting people differently. Now, yeah, so 2 days ago, yeah, I got to the point where I had to phone 111 to seek medical advice because I couldn't breathe. It freaked me out. I thought I was going to die. And it's difficult to freak me out because I used to have migraine-associated vertigo almost every day of my entire life. I'd find myself outside stranded with the world spinning and bouncing up and down and stuff. And that's some scary crap. So for me to get freaked out about a health thing, when I'm used to that kind of, when I'm used to dealing with scary crap on a daily basis, that's definitely something. So if it can take me out and zap all my energy and make it, you know, it took me 9 hours to get out of bed a couple days ago because I could not physically get out of bed. It took me 9 hours to gather enough energy to get up, and then I only managed a couple minutes before I had to go straight back because I felt awful. It's mad, it's mad. So yeah, if you have any cold or flu symptoms, yeah, self-isolate, yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's not that difficult. Well, the one thing I've noticed which is quite weird is no matter how much sleep that I get, I still have these massive bags under my eyes. Now, not like, I don't look as like I have the kind of sickness you would get with a cold or flu. It's like a really weird feeling, and I feel like a weird feeling in my face and my lips and stuff. And these weird bags that are just bizarre. It feels completely different to any cold or flu. And when I see people on Twitter or like on the TV and stuff that have been diagnosed with coronavirus, the ones that are not feeling too great, I've noticed they have the same kind of look around their eyes, which is quite weird. That's very, very bizarre. Yeah, it's weird. It just feels strange. Yeah. So yeah, key symptoms are obviously fever and a dry cough, right? That's pretty obvious, right? Now, the people that are in hospital obviously have a really bad fever and a dry cough. I've had a fever and I've had a dry cough, but it's been mild compared to the hospital cases and stuff. Fatigue, I am having extreme fatigue. Like, I've never been so tired in my entire life. It's ridiculous. Like, yeah, 9 hours to get out of bed. Like, it's not that I didn't want to get out of bed. I did. I was even trying. I literally could not get out of bed. It was insane. 9 hours it took me to get out of bed the other day. It's crazy. Phlegm, not had. Shortness of breath, yeah, I've had that quite a bit. Like, just walking from one side of the room to the other, I was like short of breath. And when I was trying to film for the first time the other day, yeah, I was getting short of breath whilst filming, and then I could feel my face turn all funny and like get all pins and needles and stuff, and I thought I was going to faint, so I had to stop, which was pretty scary. It's not long after that I dialed 111 to seek medical advice, and then I realised, like, because I'd been on hold for over an hour, that it started to calm down, so I quickly hung up in case there was any older people that needed medical attention, like, more than me. Even though I was freaking out like mad, I genuinely thought I was like a goner at some point. It was It was nuts. Sore throat, had that, yeah. Muscle joint pain, had that. Headache, had that. Yeah, that was a nightmare. Like, I had that first, actually, when I was filming that music video. I just thought it was one of the camera operators doing my head in, but no, perhaps not. Chills, had the chills, actually. Again, after I got off the phone, sorry, not off the phone, after I stopped recording here, when I was recording for the first time, when I had to quickly stop, I climbed in bed and I realised I had a fever, and then I had like chills and stuff, which totally freaked me out as well. Vomiting, not yet. I came close though, but I assume that's due to a poor diet because I don't have the energy to cook. So I've been living off of packets of Jaffa cakes and things like that. So yeah, I could really use some good food. I'm gonna make some soup, which would be good. Yeah, stuffed nose. Still got a little bit, but not as bad as it was. It was a snotty mess. Diarrhea. That's a symptom as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. That's disgusting. Disgusting. Okay, so yeah, any cold symptoms. If you have any cold symptoms at all, self-isolate, because, you know, you're not a doctor. You can't be giving people you're not a doctor. You can't be giving people medical advice that could risk the lives of others. It's crazy. So stay home, stay safe. If you have any cold or flu symptoms, self-isolate. Yeah. Boris Johnson has it as well now. That's crazy, eh? Like, yeah. Maybe now that he has it, he'll be more keen to do more about it. I was reading earlier about the largest ventilator company in the world. Our government have only ordered 350 ventilators from them, but they've ordered like 10,000 from Dyson, the Hoover company, who've never made them before. They don't exist. They're obviously not tested and stuff. So we have to wait for them to make them. They're untested. And why? Because Dyson is a Tory donor, you know? So like our government is putting like jobs for the boys before people's lives, which is insane. It's bad enough that they were inhumane with their herd immunity policy, which you don't need to be a scientist to work out that that's ridiculous. But then jobs for the boys, we need ventilators. Let's give this gig to a company that doesn't make them, that doesn't have any, that hasn't made them, and they're untested. When we're in a crisis and we desperately need them. That is insane. Post-viral fatigue is what it's called, and post-viral fatigue can last for months and months, so I'm still actually quite sick. Now, I just went to the chemist, which is a mile away. I cycled there. Now, because I went to the chemist, even though I first felt really sick 83 days ago, March 14th, I'm probably going to like pass out and sleep for 3 days just from that tiny little journey, because that's pretty much how post-viral fatigue works. It's mental. It's not just me that has it. I spoke to my doctor and he's heard of loads of people that has it. I talked to my pal Spadge though, and she was saying that she doesn't know anybody apart from us, and she was saying that her doctor is the opposite. He was basically saying that it's unusual, unheard of, that kind of thing. Anyway, so yeah, I got super sick. I tried to make a video about it, like in the second week was grim. In the second week I thought I was gonna die. Like I genuinely thought I was gonna die. I couldn't do it, I was too sick. I could barely stand, just talking made me want to faint. It was really tiring, it still is a bit to be honest. So yeah, it was madness. I genuinely thought I was gonna die for at least a week of it. I was convinced I was gonna die. It was mad. Anyway, I really wanted to document it, but I was too sick. I didn't have the energy, physically or mentally, to do any of it. So it's been 8 months, or 240 days, which is quite a long time. The reason I haven't been making hardly any updates is because I've been too sick. So yeah, that's quite crazy, eh? 8 months. So what symptoms do I still have now, 8 months later, into which is now obviously long COVID? So I still have shortness of breath, like just walking up the stairs tires me out. Walking across the room put my heart rate up to 99. Sitting and talking, it has my heart rate at 97, well 99 now. Yeah, so it's quite crazy. Still have chest pains here, still have joint pains, muscle pains and stuff. When I wake up in the morning, I still have zero energy. I still have really bad fatigue. My legs feel like they're made of lead, like it's almost impossible to move them when I first wake up. And then I start to get a little bit of energy about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But if I do move about though, I'm short of breath. So today I tried to go to the shop and just at the bottom of the street. And halfway there, I had to turn back because I was completely short of breath. And I was just exhausted. So yeah, it's been quite a wild journey. So there's not much I can do now apart from really try and figure out a way to kind of work with it. Like the only aftercare that I've had from the NHS is basically I got one email from a occupational therapist, and the email was basically how to basically live with COVID, and it said have gentle exercise, which is almost impossible, and also eat clean, and that was it. So the only aftercare was an email that says eat clean, gentle exercise, that's it. I spoke to people that have been on ventilators, that were in hospital for weeks on ventilators, and they haven't even had that, like zero aftercare whatsoever. So it's pretty crazy. Now, obviously, we can't afford to just not work and stuff, so I'm going to have to find a way to kind of work around this. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'll probably set up a page on Fiverr to do like video editing and photo editing and stuff, and yeah, still go out again. And I guess I'm going to have to get back into doing freelance video work as well, and just take my time and sit down whenever I need and rest and stuff. So yeah, luckily I have this tripod here for my camera that only has one leg. It's like a walking pole that you screw your camera on top. So I've been using this a lot when I'm out walking and stuff, as I can't really walk without a stick still after 8 months, so that's pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna have to just get back to work and leave super early so I can rest loads, and yeah, pretty much it. There's not much else that can be done really. Hopefully at some point this will pass, hopefully, and that's it. Crazy. I'd hoped I would have ended the video months ago, having been totally cured and being fine and stuff, but no such luck. I'm just gonna hope that it does go away. That's pretty much it. I'll catch you there.